I just received my pre-order from the Emporium. I've taken the time to wash everything because this is all cotton lycra materials. I've already used this print to cut out a shirt, and I'm going to sew that up with you today. With Brittany's pre-order right now, it's the leopard's round, but any of her past prints you can order in a cotton lycra, but you do have to order it in a 2-yard minimum. Her cotton lycra is a really good base. It's very stretchy. It has great stretch, great recovery. It's perfect for shirts, pants, dresses, for anything you would want to make that you would need a little bit of stretch in it. So with this print, I'm actually going to make a shirt and going to have a contrasting print to go with it because I wanted to save some of this for making a pair of pants and to use this print in the pockets so I can have a complete outfit. The pattern I'm choosing to sew up with this print is the Danica from Rivet Patterns. I have really gotten to love Rivet Patterns because they're wrote very simply for someone who has limited garment sewing knowledge like myself, but she puts so much knowledge in the pattern, so they're very educational. So I'm learning a lot while I'm sewing, but I'm not confused or overwhelmed. Her Facebook group is really quick to help too, so I'm really enjoying her patterns and learning through those patterns. So let me go ahead and show you all the pieces we have and how everything is going to come together. Before we look at all the pieces for this Danica pattern, I want to talk a little bit about it. With this pattern, you get several options. You get a crop top, a tunic length top, a dress, all included in the pattern. But then you also get the option for a cap sleeve or a sleeveless version and a hood if you wanted to have a hooded version on your shirt or dress. For me on this one, I'm doing the hood and I'm doing the crop version because I'm wanting to make a matching pair of pants and I don't want the shirt too long to cover the pockets because I want the pocket to be a coordinating print. We're going to go through each of these pieces and I'm going to tell you how I'm going to get them ready to sew. I'm going to be sewing on my serger. I'm going to try to show you how I sew on the serger. I don't have a really good setup, but I'm going to try to figure it out. Hopefully it won't be too bad. But what I like to do after I get everything cut out is go ahead and get everything clipped together, and then I just go over and sit down at the serger and just try to do it all at one time. Makes it a lot easier. Sewing a garment is a lot quicker than sewing a bag, I promise. So the first thing I do is I have to cut out the hood, and I cut it out as mirrored pieces, and now I'm just going to place it right sides together. I'll serge all along this rounded edge. This edge will be what's going in the neck at the bottom, and of course this is where my head will be. So let's go ahead and put these two pieces right sides together. So you can see I have the leopard's print cut out. I have it right sides together. I'm just going to add a few of the clips all along the sides here and the top, and then that will have it ready to serge together. You can make this shirt with a regular sewing machine as long as you have a sewing machine that can do a stretch stitch. So I'll be sewing all along this edge and I will do that. So this will be one of the things I'll do all at once. Let's set this aside. Let's go ahead and pull out our armbands. I'm making the cap sleeve version. That's a very just small sleeve on the shirt. So what I need to do is I need to take these two pieces and just place them right sides together, and then I'll just serge across this short edge. So now we have our front bottom bodice piece. So this is going to be the front at the bottom. And let's go ahead and match that with the top, which is going to be this piece here. So these two pieces are going to go together, and then the back bottom bodice and the back top will go together as well. I'm going to go ahead and make for sure I know where the center is on this piece. So I'll just add a clip there, go ahead and remove the pattern piece. And I'm going to open this bottom piece up. So this is going to be the bottom, this really nice print. This is going to be the contrast piece for me, and I'm going to go ahead and mark the center here because I'm going to match these centers up, and that way it'll help them to make sure that material is dispersed evenly. Yes, you could just eyeball it, but this is just a better way to help. So this will be the top front, and I'm going to open it up. This is where my shoulders are. So this is the top where the shoulders will go. Here is down where it's the bottom, and it's going to connect to this piece. So I'm going to place them right sides together. And this material, this purple material, it is not a cotton lycra. It is a bamboo French terry. So you can see it's a little bit floppier. It's not got as much like stability to it. It'll be okay to mix these materials in this. I try to use the same weights, but this won't be a problem to have just a little bit of mix there. What I do is after I match the centers up, I just take my time and kind of go around this curve. Knit fabrics are just a little bit finicky, so you just have to go slow and kind of be gentle with your touching and your manipulating of the fabrics to get them to line up and go together. So now I have this front clipped together. I'm going to serge or sew all along that curved edge to connect these two pieces. So let's set this one aside and let's do that same process with the back piece. You can see how quickly this shirt's going to come together, and it's going to be so cute. So finding the center again, there at the top, opening it up, taking this back top piece, finding the center there at the bottom, placing them right sides together, matching up that center mark, and then matching up the rest of the material. I'm making sure the edges match up here at the top, so I'm not stretching anything. I don't want to distort anything. I just want to be kind of gentle with how I'm putting it together. That's the hardest part for me, is just learning that new technique of not being too forceful with the materials. You kind of got to learn that muscle memory on this part. So now I have everything clipped together. I'm ready to serge all these pieces together. So I'm going to go over the serger and serge all of them, or if you have a sewing machine, you can use a stretch stitch to sew yours all together. I'm not sure how this angle is going to look. I'll keep working with it if it doesn't look good to try to get a better angle. So this is the serger I use. It's a very cheap beginner serger, no big deal. One thing you need to know is that the foot doesn't lift up really far. You can see it barely lifts up. Lots of times I don't even lift the foot up. What I do is I just take off the clips, if it's a small piece like this, and then I just lift the foot up like that to get the fabric underneath. There's not like a seam guide on a serger like there is on your regular sewing machine, so you kind of learn how much you need to cut off depending on the seam allowance. So the pattern has this seam allowance for 3/8, so I know I need to cut off about 1/4 of an inch of fabric, and that kind of helps me to know that I have the correct seam allowance. My serger's very loud, so I won't be able to talk over it, so I'm going to go ahead and serge everything, and I'll just speed it up, but I will serge all these pieces all at once. I have all of these serged. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and trim up all the threads, and I'm going to press all the seams for each one of these pieces. So now let's look at all the pieces that we've gotten serged together. We have the 2 armbands. I'll need to quarter these, but I'll do that in just a minute. We don't need these right now. For the hood, I went ahead and pressed the seam. I just pressed the seam to one side just to iron it flat. Sometimes your seams will get wavy, so that'll just kind of help it to not look so wavy. Then all along this front edge, so let me lay this hood down. So this is the part that's going to be against your neck. It's going to go in your shirt, so you don't have to worry about it right now. But this part all around your face, it needs to be hemmed. So what I did was, while I was at the iron pressing the seams, I went ahead and pressed the material to the wrong side by 1/2 of an inch. I'll go to my regular sewing machine and I'll top stitch all around here using a zigzag stitch. Now technically I could probably use a straight stitch on my regular machine, but I just don't want to risk a stitch popping, so I will go ahead and do a zigzag stitch all the way around just this edge that I hemmed, just the front edge. The pattern also tells us then that we need to tack this part apart together by about 3/8 of an inch. So you're just going to kind of sit them together. They'll line up nicely. You can see that point there, about 3/8 of an inch. And then you can use a piece of tape or just a few stitches. I'll do stitches and just stitch across there. So that way, whenever we put this into the shirt, these pieces will stay together and won't get like kind of like this or be uneven. So just 3/8 of an inch overlap. It'll be a straight edge there at the bottom, and sew those pieces. So let me just put a clip there. So that's the hood. Set this aside. Then we have our front and our back. Look at how pretty they look. They look so cute already. I love them. I press the seams of both of these down. So I always press down unless a pattern tells me opposite. That is what I think's best. And you can see how straight the seam looks. It looks great. Whenever you serge, sometimes the seams are wavy and it just doesn't look good. So now what we do is we'll place the front and the back right sides together. We are going to match up here at the shoulders. That's these top parts here. And then we will clip down the side, leaving the opening for the arm. So I have the top shoulders clipped together. For these side seams, I'm going to try to nest my seams here. You don't have to, but I'm going to try to just do that and match them up, and we'll see how it works. If I need to and I'm serging to put them going the same way, I will. So I'll clip down the side. We're leaving that arm piece completely open. We are going to be putting one of the arm bands in here, but for right now it's staying open, and we're just clipping down the sides. So now we have the tops clipped together and the sides clipped together. We are going to serge or sew those 4 seams. So the 2 sides, the 2 shoulders. On the hood, I'm just going to hem that top edge and then tack the sides together. At this point, I have a fully functional shirt. Now, the edges around the collar and the shoulder and the hem at the bottom are not finished, so I'm going to finish those. But at this point, if you're really a new sewist, you could wear the shirt like this. It just wouldn't look professional. I also went ahead and hemmed this edge all along the hood, and then I tacked down these edges here at the bottom so that it's completely ready to be put into the shirt. So this is going to be the front. This is going to be the back, and here's my 2 side seams. So I've quartered this hood. I've also quartered the shirt too. This is the front, the back, and the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hood, and I'm going to drop it down in here. I'm going to make for sure I match up the front, the back, and the sides. So we're matching up the raw edge. So your raw edge is here at the top. The hood part is all down underneath here. First thing I'll do is I'll match up these 2 clips here to match up the front quarter marks. Then I will come to a side, match up those. Come to the back, match up that seam. That is the actual seam that you sew together. And then one last side mark. Now once we have those quarter marks made, we're still going to have to do some finagling with the material. We're going to have to stretch so that these fit together. If you look right here, there's a lot of difference. That's okay, that's what you want. This hood and the neckband, if you're using it, is going to kind of pull everything in so that the collar fits properly. So you want it to have that tension. You want it to seem like it's a little bit too small. So what I need to do is I need to get these edges together so I can sew. So I just put my finger in between there and just kind of gently pull and push and finagle until I get them to match up. Then I use my fingers to hold that in place, grab a clip, and clip that there. You can still see there's the gapping on this side, but now it's evenly distributed. So whenever I'm sewing this, I'm just going to apply a little bit of tension so that these 2 pieces are in line. You shouldn't have to pull really hard, but you should be able to have like a little bit of resistance on it. It sounds really confusing in the beginning, but it really does become simple and kind of like a memory thing, like your muscles just remember how to do it and you just gently do it. So your first one may not be perfect, but it won't take any time for you to get really good at this skill. If you find you need more clips, like you don't feel comfortable with this, you can pull this part and then put another clip right here. You could definitely do that. It's whatever is your comfort level. So that is how the hood is going to look. Let's go ahead and check that out one more time. So here's my front. The hood is all down in there. The raw edges are matching. So the hood is right sides together with the right side of my shirt. That same concept is going to be done on these arm openings. You take the band and all you do is you fold it wrong sides together. I nest my seam here, so I fold it like that and I add a clip, and then I make the quarter marks, and then I go ahead and put the other edges together, and then I quarter this piece as well. I'll also quarter this arm opening and put the band right sides together with the shirt, just like I did with the hood. So I have both of the armbands ready. I just have to quarter the sleeves and put it in there. The last thing I'll have to do is I'll have to hem all along this bottom. If you have a little bit of overhang like I do, that's okay. You can trim it, but what I do is I just kind of fold it in with the hem. So the pattern tells you how much to hem, but I always think it's a good idea to try it on just to see if you like that level of hem or not. On me, this is going to be already a crop, so I'm not going to do a very big hem. So I might do a 1/2 inch hem on this one instead of maybe 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch. I will hem the bottom of the shirt with a zigzag stitch on my regular sewing machine, just like I did the hood. So let's go ahead and finish up this shirt. When I come back, the shirt will be completely done. I'm going to sew these steps off camera just because I'm having to move my entire setup whenever I go to the serger. So I'm just going to do these off camera. When I come back, I'll show you everything done after I've serged around the edge of the opening here for the hood, around both of the armholes, and then also the bottom of the hem. Now I know I'm not showing all the steps. If you get confused on any of this, let me know. I can always sew up another one, but I'm not for sure if my camera angle is going to look great for that serge, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of this off camera. I am so excited to go and try this on to see how it fits. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my gosh, I'm in love. I'm going to make a matching pair of pants, and not today, but I'm going to make the pants out of this material, and then the pockets will be out of this material just as a pop of contrast so that it's a matching outfit. I cannot wait to make them both. I want to go and try this on. I'll get pictures and I'll post them in the Emporium's Facebook group. If you are not in there, join the group if you want to see how it looks. This is the Danica. It is from Rivet Patterns. You can make it as a shirt, as a crop version, as a tunic, a longer version, or as a dress. You can make it with cap sleeves like mine, tank top sleeves, with a hoodie, without a hoodie. It's just got so many different features. I love it. And you can just use a little bit of your custom prints to have a really cool shirt. So I still have about 1/2 yard left even after I've made this shirt with it. Such a great pattern. I'm going to be working on getting a better setup for my serger, so I apologize it's not perfect yet, but hopefully I'll be able to film on it like a complete video and have everything perfect soon. Brittany's current pre-order is the Leopard's Rounds, and it is available in a smooth vinyl, a waterproof cotton, or just a regular cotton woven. If you wanted to do cotton lycra like I did, you can do that. It's just a 2 yard minimum. The other options are just a quantity of 1, whereas the cotton lycra is a quantity of 2. If you have any questions about the pattern or the materials, let me know. I'm going to put a link for the pattern, a link for the pre-order in my video, and I cannot wait to try this on. I'll post pictures in Brittany's group. And I hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope that you are starting to see how easy it is to make your own clothes and how quick it comes together. Thanks so much for watching another tutorial of mine, and I hope you have a great day.